Alrighty, finally, after all this time, I've finally got around to doing this. Alright, as you can see by the title, this is the DIW Brawlmania 3 time skip, and let me say that again, I am sorry that this had to be a time skip, but there's actually a good reason for that. I could not be bothered to do it, I'm going to be blunt there. But now that I've demoted it to time skip, I've actually got quite a few things done with DIW, and you should be seeing a couple of things uploaded over the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, in fact, I already got one, like the new introduction for DIW Season 3 CBV done, commentated on, just need to save that and upload it. So, yeah. And I've already got episode 1. You know what, that's for another time. This is a DIW time skip, so let's get this started. I just want to let you know that this might be jumbled up, because I never actually wrote down a match card in the right order. Don't know why, but there you go. Alright, now the DIW Brawlmania 3, yes 3, was split up into 4 days. The first day consisted of the pre-show and other matches. So, first day, pre-show, which was Socko 105 versus Nathan Vaz. Now, if you don't know why this is happening, go search it up. There's a video on their contract signing, whatever. This was a normal match and Nathan Vaz won. Okay, searching. Alright, next we had day... Yeah, still day 1, I just wrote it down wrong on here, my bad. Okay, we had a Money in the Bank match. It was Robbie Fortune versus... Robbie Fortune? Johnny Fortune, my bad. Versus Robbie Lethal versus Lubu versus Justin Sparks versus Daniel Brown versus Xavier Conrad. Now, you're going to be seeing Xavier Conrad on the next episode, so if you're wondering who the hell he is, you'll soon find out. And Lubu won that. However, during most of the match, Just Sparks was focusing on Lubu a lot, but Lubu finally managed to pick up the win. Okay, next match. Dark Reign. This was for the Intercontinental Championship. Dark Reign, who was champion, taking on Sean Lowe Jr. Now, Sean Jr. recently turned face, along with his brother Shane Parlow, who now have a Pro America gimmick. Why? Don't ask me. So yeah, somehow Sean Jr. got the fans behind him, but Dark Reign won with the Dark Vortex? No, that's... Shit, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, Dark Reign won with his spin out backbreaker move. Okay, now the main event of day 2 was the Vampire vs Maxwell in an Extreme Rules match. Now, this... Alright, yeah, my bad. Alright, this was going back and forth, people going through tables, going through ladders, just going through everything. And then, eventually, when it was getting kind of a stalemate, out of nowhere, Sean O'Connor, who had been voodooed, to put it lightly, by Maxwell at Divided We Brawl, I think it was? No, the episode before Divided We Brawl, I think. Whatever. Yeah. He comes out of nowhere. The lights start flickering and go black. Then they come back on. Sean O'Connor comes out of nowhere. GTS's Maxwell and our Vampire to get the win. Then afterwards, Maxwell says he has to rethink his approach to DIW and what's going on, and then leaves. Okay, so that's the end of day 2. Now moving on to day 3. Why are there only 2 matches for day 3? I know it's 3. My bad. Alright. First match for day 2. I'm getting my words mixed up. There's a reason for it. So I'm sorry. Day 2. So, first match. World Elite. This is for Tag Team Championships. World Elite versus Johnson Machino. World Elite consists of Ben Hitman and SOS. And Johnson and Machino get the win. So you really need to know. But then Ben Hitman throws a hissy fit and then goes backstage. SOS follows him. Okay, next match of day 2 was... Yeah, next match of day 2 was Deathlight versus Shane Pyro Low. Now, this feud's been going on for a while. And eventually, like I said, Shane Parlow adopted a pro-America gimmick to counter Dev Fight's anti-America gimmick. And then, before this match, there had been rumours that both men were going to retire anyway, which what the deciding factor was. And Shane Parlow won after a fire spin, aka cyclone. After which, they broke character, shook hands, and then celebrated with the fans. And then they both announced their retirement. Okay. Next match. And then the main event of day 2 was Diablo versus Curtis Killings versus Extreme Dan for DIW ownership. Basically, this was a back and forth match, kind of, but then Diablo. No, my bad. Then Killings and Dan decided to put aside their differences and take out Diablo. Now, you remember the story behind this. Killings said that Dan had hired him to take out Diablo so he could become the owner of DIW. And eventually, Diablo flapjacks Killings through. No, flapjacks Dan through a table, and then flapjacks Killings through a ladder, and then pins Killings. Gets the victory. Then after the match, Diablo says, "You know what? Dan's fine. He's never working in DIW ever again as long as I'm here." And then, so Dan gets taken out by security, and then he turns to Killings and asks, why did he do it? He doesn't think explanation is enough. So Killing says, "Alright, I'll tell you the true story." True story. Basically, what really happened is that Exterminator paid Killings to take out Diablo, not only paying him with money, obviously, but also saying that he'll train him to actually do something as a wrestler if he does it for him. So he took out Diablo. Then Exterminator forged a ownership contract that basically said that whoever wrote their name down would be owner of DIW, because, well, that just isn't plausible in real life, so Exterminator forged that. Dan so happened to... he made sure that Dan found it, so Dan became owner. And then Exterminator proceeded to use Dan to get what he wanted and just screw over the fans, minds, and everything. And then... blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much it. And then Diablo says he's not going to fire Killings, but he's going to make his life a living hell as long as he can. So that's the end of day 2. Right, day 3 opens up with... it was originally going to be Mason Chronic versus Nathan Slash, but then we went, nah. So instead, we got the Ben Giganta versus Master Marauder versus Silent Death for the X Division Championship in a TLC match, which is X Division staple. And even though Giganta had a number of different disadvantage, well, technically Master Marauder and Silent Death were going after each other as well, but still, Giganta picks up the win after doing a wine die off the ladder onto Silent Death, and then gets the belt. So Giganta is your new X Division champion. Alright, let's find the next match. Alright, next match was Andre Rubio versus Shadow Vega. This was for the YouTube Championship. Now this has got... shit, I forgot the match. Whoops. Yeah, this has got a lot of history behind it, as you probably won't remember. So, you know, Shadow Vega was trying to stop Andre Rubio from taking out Dan repeatedly, and then it got to the point where Andre Rubio said, "You know what, screw this. I'm taking your belt if you're not going to let me get to Dan." And eventually Shadow Vega wins with a Cyclone. He's not finished. He spears Andre Rubio after the match, and then he has to be taken out by the medical staff. So who knows when we'll be seeing Andre Rubio again. Alright. The next match is Kevin Cash versus Hayes versus Reaper for the DIW Silver Star title. The match starts off and all three are going at it, and then about a minute into it, Hayes and Reaper just stop attacking each other, turn to Cash, and then start beating the crap out of him. Hayes then hits 3 punts off of Cash after Tombstone by Reaper and then pins him. And it's your new Silver Star champion. And the two celebrate while medical staff have to take out Kevin Cash as well. And yeah, we got word that Kevin Cash will no longer be able to compete in DIW. His injuries are too severe. he's out. He's basically out indefinitely. So yeah. And then the main event of day 3 was the DIW World Championship match, which was Illusion going as champion versus Stevie T, which was divided with Brawlmania, and Quicksilver, who inserted himself into this match after he proclaimed that he was the champion of champions, and as Silver Star champion, he deserves to be in the match, and also he stole Illusion's championship. So yeah, basically what happens in this match is that it's a back and forth match. It's a no disqualification match, and then eventually Stevie T takes out Quicksilver on the outside, and Quicksilver gets seen over by medical staff, a lot of medical staff in day 3. Then Illusion and Stevie T are fighting at it. Then Illusion, Stevie T's on the top turnbuckle. Illusion enziguried him off outside. And then Quicksilver comes back turns around, does an arm drag of death, then goes to the top rope, goes for a 5-star silver splash, connects, goes for the cover, 1, 2, but no, Illusion kicks out. So they're fighting back and forth, and then Stevie T eventually comes in, goes back and forth again. Then eventually Illusion gets taken out as just Stevie T and Quicksilver, and Stevie T hits the Blackpool's Revenge, aka the RKO, and gets the cover. So Stevie T is your new DIW World Champion. And then after the match, Lubu's music starts playing. He's on the ramp, and then he gets a microphone and says, "You know what, Stevie T? I could cash it in right now. I could take the coward's way out, but I'm challenging you at the next CPV called DIW New Dawn." Yeah, well, he didn't say exactly that, but just paraphrasing it. So yeah, we already got a match set for DIW New Dawn, which would be Lubu versus Stevie T for the DIW World Title Championship. Okay, so that's the end of day 3. Now we'll move on to day 4, which is the final day. First match opening day 4 is G&B versus Edward Slaughter. This is their 3rd match on consecutive CPVs. G&B looking for the win here. Slaughter, first match, Slaughter finishes it with the Slaughter Grease. Second match, he finished it with the Fawn. Now the 3rd match, what's he going to finish it with, if he does finish it, of course? Because it's a back and forth match. G&B getting the advantage though, because he's really pissed off about losing twice. And eventually Edward Slaughter starts coming back, hits the pedigree, goes for a cover. Slaughter Green, my bad. G&B kicks out. Slaughter's obviously surprised at that. So then start coming back. G&B hits the money shot, which is the complete shot. Goes for a cover. Slaughter kicks out. Then eventually Slaughter hits a Fawn. If you haven't seen the move, you'll see it soon, and gets the pin off G&B. And then he proceeds to attack G&B afterwards. Okay, next match. I really need to hurry up because I'm going towards 15-minute time limit. Okay. Next match. There it is. Next match was D-Mac versus Sheamus Okoye. Now, I actually did record this match. It was a 20-minute, very good match, in my opinion. And it was a Extreme Rules match. And basically the ending was D-Mac and Sheamus Okoye are both on top of the ladder. Then D-Mac hit a neck breaker off the top of the ladder and went for the cover, but didn't get the 3 count. So Sheamus Okoye they both tried to get their feet. D-Mac gets to his feet, ducks underneath the clothesline by Sheamus Okoye and does a Falcon kick for Sheamus Okoye and gets the cover. So yeah, McCoy gets beaten by his own move. Oh, I really need to hurry up. Then the main event was Darren Matthews versus Viper versus Ryan versus Exterminator. This was the DIW Championship match and just fatal 4-way no disqualification match that was elimination style. Basically, Matthews and Viper take out Ryan before the match. Then Viper is reverse eliminated after Ryan comes back, hits the flip kick and gets the pin. There's Ryan and Exterminator, Darren Matthews fighting back and forth, and then eventually Exterminator Iron Claws. No, sorry. Fame raises, Ryan gets the pin, then it's Darren Matthews Exterminator, they're fighting back and forth. And then eventually Viper comes back, they screw over Exterminator, Charisma Carter, and there's a victory. Darren Matthews is still your DIW champion. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sorry that took so long, but just want to say before I run out of time, it's going to be a DIW CPV coming up called DIW Newborn Dawn, my bad. That will be unifying all the titles. So yeah, stay tuned for that. This has been Firing Zero Germanic, signing out. Jesus Christ, that was long.